things here. You can understand this, right? Can you understand that? Just one image button, that's all in the item template. In the item template, I kept the one image. Okay, see the code. In the image.aspx, what I'm doing is, every time I need to get the picture, every time I need to get the picture, I created one HTTP handler file. I created one HTTP handler file. Okay, sorry. I created one HTTP handler file. In the handler file, I don't have anything in the design. In code behind file, in handler code behind file, what I did is, okay, whenever, see, what the grid view, the way image.aspx.cs, there is nothing basically. There is right now you need not to think about it, what's going on in the image.aspx, aspx.code behind. But here, whenever you are getting the need to, what is handler file? What that question? I did explain about the HTTP handlers and HTTP modules, right? Come on, I did the modules. Vishwas, I did the handler and modules, man. You can give the different extensions. Did I or not? Oh, maybe you missed it. Ranavir, did we? Ajal? Maybe I could be wrong sometimes, maybe, batch after batch. But I strongly feel somehow I did explain that. No? Sajal? HTTP handlers, HTTP modules. Modules are like, every request has to go through it. Every request through come back it. And the handler is nothing but extension. I give the code project link also. I told you, like, it's not really need not really look into it, but if you look at, that's good. Do you remember anything that, Ranavir? Can you hear me? No, man, I did the HTTP handlers and HTTP modules. Okay. Just talking HTTP handlers and HTTP modules. This is what I showed you, right? Like, you can give the dot shiv or anything. No, if I tell the handler, there is no way I'll be missing the modules. If I tell the handlers, I told the modules. That is for sure. And the same link I gave it, right? I told you like path star.shiva star.koirala, whatever it is. Maybe look that video and see. My thing is, it's very simple. Like here now, image URL. What you call this? What the less than %? Sajal? Ranavir? Server side tags. You put something in those tags, that means it is a server side code. Whenever you would like to add the image, go to this file, ASHX. ASHX is the way you will be adding that file. ASHX, and you are passing employee ID as a query string. This employee ID as a query string. So in the ASHX file, because ASHX file does the process request, IHTTP handler is an interface. This is a class. Class is implementing this interface. Class is implementing this interface. And go to the definition of the file. Go to the definition of the file. Once you go to the definition of the file, there is only one method, like a process request. So the process request is one method. I need to implement that method. The process request method I need to implement. So in the image.aspx, ASHX.cs, I implemented the process request HTTP context. I took as a parameter. That's all. And every time for every employee ID, yes, you can ask me a thing like, oh, you know what? It is really cost-based solution. It's really costly solution because, yeah, for every ID you are talking to the guy, you are talking to every ID, you are making a call to the server, get the data and attach the image. Yes, but rather than getting the entire image at a time, all the images at a time, in that way it is not cost based. Do you want get all the 10 guys images, or 10 guys images, sending the 10 guys images at a time, or first load something one guy at a time? One guy at a time is much easier. The bandwidth would be very less. So that is the reason we are doing this. Okay, while you are doing this, it is from C. From here onwards, you need not to do anything. It's just simple .NET code. A simple .NET code. Only thing is simple the SQL connection, SQL commands, ADO.NET code, and little bit of the memory stream. So I'm going to explain what is a memory stream. But anyhow, you need to understand, only thing is ASPX is calling the ASHX file. ASHX file is going through the employee ID. It is going through the employee ID. The CS file is here. ASHX.cs file is here. Only thing is your class is implementing automatically, but you need to only worry about this. That's all. You need to only worry about that. Okay? Any questions on that part? If you give the answers immediately, then that will, can you show me the, yeah, this is what, oh, you can't see the .cs file, Ranveer? I'm in the .cs file, ASHX.cs file. This was. Other one is the image.aspx. This was Sajal. Okay, very good. Image.aspx, I took it. I need to display employees and their IDs. I need to display employees and their IDs. You know that very well. Employees and their IDs. When I am displaying the employees and their IDs, do you want me, which is the best way, do you want me bring one image at a time, or 10 images at a time? Which way is the better? Very good. One by one. That is the reason I went for in the image.aspx. You can see every time I'm going to the handler file, every time I'm going for the handler file and passing the employee ID as a query string, passing the understand that? Very good. So in the handler file, you can add the handler file like this: add new item and then ASP.NET handler. No, it's a generic handler. Where is the generic handler? Generic handler. This is the ASHX. This is the ASHX. Okay, I added that. Okay, in the handler.cs file, it has to implement IHTTP handler. It's gonna come up automatically. It's gonna come up everything. You need to implement the process request. You're gonna implement the process request. In the process request, what I'm trying to do is SQL connection. Okay, memory stream. I think it is another topic completely. We planned for NT framework. Okay, anyhow we touched this, but this one again I need to explain you in the WCF also, but I will take care of it that right now itself. Okay, the concept of serialization. The concept of serialization. What do you mean by the serialization? Any one of you? What do you mean by the serialization? Any idea, you guys? No. No, let me put this way. Serialization is nothing but converting object into stream of bytes. If you want to note it, serialization is nothing but, don't worry, this don't worry, this is an extra topic or something. Anyhow, we need to cover this topic when we go to the WCF serialization concept. That's good, we are covering here itself. Serialization is nothing but converting a stream into bytes. Converting a stream into bytes. Converting an object into stream of bytes. Converting an object into stream of bytes. Deserialization is nothing but converting back stream bytes to the just hold for a second, back into the object. sorry about it. So basically, converting object into stream of bytes or converting stream of bytes into back to object. Serialization, deserialization. Why? Why do you need to serialization? Can you hear me, guys? Yes, well, very good. Why do you need to do the serialization? If you remember properly, I told you when I explained the view state, it will be storing the data in the serialized format. It will be storing the data in a serialized format. Because of the serialization, you get the response. You get the proper reliability. That means whenever in the network, if you would like to send the data from one place to the other place, if you would like to send the data from one place to the other place, you do serialize and you send it. You do serialize the data and you do send it. You understand? Why? Why do I need to serialize? Yes, because of the reliability. That means without serialization, can I send? Oh, without serialization also you can send. But there is no guarantee on the message is receiving the other end properly. You might lose the data also. That is the reason a view state, where does it store? View state, Sajal? Mm, Come on. Ranavir? Not Ranavir. Vishwas? Where does the view state stores? Okay, let me put this way. Client side or server side? Oh, man. What happened to you, Vishwas? Are you fine? What happened from the since last week, man? Sajal? Neither. Neither. What happened to you guys, man? View state, does it store on the client side or server side? Pretty basic question. Ranavir? Hmm. Ranavir? Okay. Ranavir, you there? View state stores client side or server side. Very good, Sajal. Hmm. Yeah, great going, good going, man. You're really doing good. Hmm. It's a client side. It's a client side. It's a client side. Whenever the server sending the data, whenever the server is sending the data to the client side, both are two different ends. No, I mean like in a hidden field means I'm not talking about which side, either server side or client side. Then the answer is obviously the server side. Sorry, obviously the client side. I'm clearly mentioning it, right? Which side it is going to store. Then obviously that is the client side. Use state is on the client side mechanism. I'm not going into the details of it. Understood? Okay. Server is sending the data to the clients. Both are in the network, both are in the two different ends. To make sure the data is coming to the client properly without losing any packets, any information, the data is coming properly to the server client side. It does the serialization and it sends in that format. It does serialization and it does and sends in that format. That is the serialization. Remember it. Whenever you are storing the data within the network, obviously it's within the network from one end to the other end, it needs to be serialized and deserialized. And one more thing. How do you serialize it, right? How do you serialize it? See, any of the value types if you are using, those are automatically serialized. If you are using any of the value types, then those will be serialized automatically. You need not worry about it. Okay, let me explain this. One more real-time scenario. The session state outproc. That means, let us say, I'm storing my session in the SQL server. Let us say I'm storing my session in the SQL server. When I'm storing a SQL server, when I'm storing in the SQL server, that is from one end to the other end, right? Let us say I kept like this. I don't get the session. This is my customer list. Let us say this is my customer list. If this is my customer list, CL is my customer list, session of CS I'm storing it, CL is my customer list, what happens basically? So it is storing in the database, but CL is, let us say, my customer list. That means list of cost CL is equal to new list of cost. This is the case, the cost is the completely a new type. Cost is completely a new type. It doesn't know what is the type. Class cost, okay, this is the customer is a new type. Then you are fine here. When you are keeping the CL using system.collections.generic, system.collections.generic, if I'm keeping my CL into the session, if my session state is a SQL server, that means I'm storing my session in the database. You are sending the data from one place to the other place. The SQL server tells you, hey, serialize the class, because I cannot serialize, because .NET framework cannot serialize this class, because this class is a user-defined type. It cannot serialize. So if it can't serialize, the SQL server cannot accept it. SQL server accepts only in serialization format, because one from one end to the other end in the network. So SQL Server throws an error saying it, if it is not serialized, I can't take it. How do you serialize then? You do serialize by keeping an attribute on top of the class serializable. Then the class can serialize. You need not to serialize. You need not to write any mechanism to do serialization. You have to allow the class for serializable. You have to allow the class for serialization. Understand the serialization importance on the two real-time scenarios? Any questions on that? Then we can move on to the subject. Very good. Okay, coming back. So automatically it comes for the ASHX.CS. Okay. If you want to serialize, okay, let me put this way. If I have a object like this, an employee, E is equal to new employee. If I want to do serialize, I will be using a stream object. I will convert this into different formats. XML serialization, binary serialization, JSON. When we go J-code, you'll be hearing it. JSON, JavaScript simple object notation. Note it. JavaScript simple object notation. Binary serialization, XML serialization. These are the types of the serialization. Okay, anyhow, if you want to serialize, first it is nothing but converting stream of bytes. You can use any of the stream objects. The available stream objects are memory stream, file stream. For your information, your data reader is also a stream object. For your information, the data reader is also a stream object. Memory stream, file stream, and XML reader, XML writer, and yeah, these are mainly. And there are something else, a text reader. These all are the stream objects. So I will briefly list the steps. Serialization is nothing but process of converting an object into stream of bytes. Within network, if you would like to send the data from one place to the other place for the data reliability purposes, you do need to do the serialization. If you keep a serializable attribute on top of the class, if you keep a serializable attribute on the top of the class, it's automatically serialized by the .NET framework. If you would like to do the serialization on your own, you are allowing it. .NET does the serialization. But if you would like to do serialization, because .NET how does it serialization, which format it is serializing, it won't tell you, and at the same time you don't know basically. But if you would like to serialize the object into particular format, that means all I'm concluding here, I do like to serialize my object on my own in my required custom format. Then the steps are, you should have an object. And then you should have one of the stream objects. Those stream objects are MS, FS, memory stream, file stream, XML reader, text reader. By using the stream object, you can convert the data into XML serialization, binary serialization, JSON serialization. If you use the WCF, you can use the data contract serializer too. If you use the WCF, you can use the data contract serializer too. Are you getting me? The whole process. Very good. Now we go back to our work. Okay, I took the memory stream. Okay, because the object, the data, whatever I'm getting, okay, this is about how you do the serialization, blah, 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 blah. But coming the pictures, why I'm using a serialization? First thing is I need to get a big data, a big chunk of data from database. If I serialize, it would be easy because the image, it occupies much data. So that is the reason I'm doing a serialization. I'm using a memory stream. If I use the memory stream, it will keep on the RAM, whatever the serialized object. Okay, anyhow, memory stream, BMP, blah, 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 blah. You know this. You know this. I created memory stream object. You know this. And offset is equal to 78. I'm going to explain that. I took the command, and you want to get these two columns, employee ID, photo, once the ID passed. And then text, connection, SQL parameter is image ID. I mean, anything you can put. I added the parameter, or you did with the add with value. Anything you can do it. This is other way of doing it. Context dot, because you are sending the, I'm setting up the image ID. These two steps, what you did is, rather than these two steps, what you did is these three steps, not two steps. CMD dot parameter value, CMD dot parameter, add parameter dot add with value, CMD dot parameter dot add with value. You gave the image, you gave the parameter name and the value. I did the same thing here. Very simple. But the query string, in query string format, you are getting ID. In the query string format, you are getting ID from image.aspx.cs. Then you opened your connection. Data reader, I took it. The data reader, execute reader. You know the cmd.execute reader. And I'm getting the data from the reader stream object, into memory set, into memory stream. Okay, hey guys, this is right now data reader is also a stream. I'm having a data in the data reader. From the data reader is a ADO.NET object. ADO.NET object. I need something like a file stream, memory stream. So that is the reason I said, okay, I'm reading the data from data reader. I started reading it. I created an array, a byte array. I'm getting the bytes, data reader of get bytes. Picture column is 1. Start from size the 1, 0, 0, 0 up to the max values. That is the size of the byte array. I created a byte array. I got the data reader object. Whatever the max value, whatever the get bytes, how big it is, I'm getting that whole thing. The range I'm giving it, 0 to max value, everything I'm giving it. This is to define the byte size, the byte array size for that particular image. And then I got the get bytes. Saying it, start reading the information from data reader, until b.length. You know already, b length already you set it up here. I did that, and then I said, okay, ms memory stream dot write. I'm gonna write into the memory stream the byte, offset, BD length, is all. Okay. See here. Once again I explain it. I got the data reader and I set up the byte array, and I am getting the bytes into B. That means byte array. Set up the length, get the array into B. I'm also telling it is a max length available in the B. So now you got the data into B. In this step, you got the data into byte array. I'm writing into the memory stream whatever I got into the byte. Whatever I got into the byte, I'm putting into memory stream, and then I'm saying, right now in memory is nothing but the response. Memory is nothing but the response. I can use that in response. I'm saying, hey, the type should be, the response type should be image or JPEG. Image or JPEG. Okay. And this particular step, these two steps, what happens is, if you have the BMP file, if you have the, it's like old .NET, old Windows application for Windows operating system, it is used to store the .bmp extension. If you set up the data into data reader to the byte to the memory stream. Okay, finally you got all the data into memory stream. You are setting up that as a response. While setting up a response, that byte data is a BMP data. You need to follow these steps. If it is not BMP data, if it is a JPEG type, it is not the BMP, it's going to throw error. Then you're going to come to the catch block. Catch block directly flushes that whatever the data you have there in B to the response. If you would like to generate the BMP, take it from memory stream and generate it. You have to observe two things here. The B directly pushed it, but from the B, I am creating one more type, as a BMP. Then I took the memory stream and created this. If it is a BMP. If it is not the BMP, just push it the bytes of array to the response. I took to the memory stream whatever a diagram I explained. From memory stream, I can generate to XML serialization, a binary serialization, or any JSON serialization, data contract serialization, whatever it is. But here, being it is an image, I directly push it to the page, web page, if it is not the BMP. That's all. Close it, and that's all you need here. If you go to here, what is here? It is retrieve. It is just retrieve. While you are retrieving, just get these two, bind it to the database, get these two, bind it to the grid view. Once it is coming to the grid view is the one calling this ASHX file for every read. Data reader.read is reading the data from reader. Data reader.read is nothing but the reading the data from read. And putting the next statement is the byte. You are setting up the length of the byte array. And then once you set up the length of the byte array, then you are directly moving it to the dumping the data from data reader to the byte array. You are taking into the byte into the memory stream because you want to generate the BMP. Otherwise, you directly push it to the. So this is because you might ask me where did I use the serialization? Yes, data reader is nothing but a stream object, right? Data reader is nothing but a stream object. Okay, if you are saving the file, see this, I'm saving an image here. I think employee ID, I'm putting a file. See here. retrieve from DB 5. Okay, I'm replacing this image. Save to DB. Yes, it's got replaced. It's got replaced. These are not the BMP. In the Northwind, whatever you have, those are not the BMP. So you have to use that code there. However, how did you save it? Okay, I said update employee set photo is equal to image data @ image data. Image data type is this. Image data type is this. Okay. And then at the image data, and image data type is equal to object of image data. How I did this? Image data is nothing but a byte array. And where is the image? Spath. Spath is nothing but jellyfish.jpg. Server.map path. If it is in the same under same root folder, I can say server.map path. Server.map path of jellyfish.jpg. Okay, I got the path of the file. And I said read file. Into image data. Image data is a byte array. You need to use the byte array. And then read file, you send the path. Byte array, it returns the byte array. While you have to understand one thing. When you are putting the data into the database, you took the byte array. When you are retrieving, you took the byte array. This is the file info, and then you got the length of the file info from numbytes. I took the file stream object. To read the information from the file. I took the binary reader. Binary reader is nothing but a stream object. I took the binary reader. I put into the binary. I just converted into the number of bytes. Data is. You took the data into data reader and put it into the byte array. You took the file stream to get the information from file stream. You took the binary reader, read, kept back into the byte array. That's all. I sent this code to you. Please have a look at that, and if you have any questions, get back to me. So you can continue with your assignment with this example. The same way you can do it if you want to display the products and categories. You know what I'm saying? We're going back to our link. Oh, okay. Or otherwise, let me do one thing. Okay. Take it 2 minutes here and just look at the how I saved the object. If you have any question, ask me. These are the three things you need to look into. This. Any questions? Okay. Link. So language integrated coding is link. It embeds with SQL. That means structured query language. I will show a simple thing, then you can understand what I'm talking about it. Ranveer, Nihat is there? Nihat is with us? I know. From seeing customers, well, take it as a simple thing rather than going with the group and all. C dot country is equal to USA. From seeing customers where C dot country is equal to USA. That's all. What if you write the SQL for this? The equivalent SQL of this is select star from customers where country is equal to USA. This is the equivalent SQL for this. This is the equivalent SQL for this. What the Microsoft did is everything very simple concept. You have a explain me this concept. Do you know anything about the cursors? Any one of you? In SQL stored procedures, cursors. Okay. And I asked you to do the table variables, right? Yeah. So if you use the cursor, really is nothing but looping. It's nothing but cursor is nothing but looping. If you use the cursor, if you use the cursor, it takes a lot of time, performance problem. Then you you took the table variable and you are applying this select, insert, update, delete, everything on the table variable. Yes or no? To manipulate the data in the logical layer, you have a for loops. Go take record by record. Why don't you go with the SQL on this here too? If you understand that concept, that's all LINQ about it. That's the reason LINQ internally embeds with the SQL. You got the concept? Man, just say yes or no. Very good question. Okay, I will answer that question to you. Right, Vishwas? Got it now? Sajal, got it? Anit? So that is the LINQ. That is the LINQ. But LINQ has the lot of flavors within that. LINQ has a lot of flavors within that. Those flavors are linked to SQL, linked to objects, linked to entities, and linked to XML. Linked to XML. But the way they designed LINQ is, okay, you connect to your data source, could be anything. Your data source is a SQL, SQL server, I mean to say. Your data source is an XML file, or your data source is an what to say, SQL, XML, and object. Object means this CL. Or entity, which is entity framework. Entities. Link to entities. You do the link to object or link to XML, link to SQL, you get an enumerable object, which is nothing but like this, You do whatever you need. Finally, you connect to the SQL server, get the data, you're gonna get like this. XML file, read the XML data, you're gonna get this. Object, it's already object. Entity, same thing. If you would like to massage it, you will be writing the query like this on that. Once you get it, if you need to massage, you do this. That means you need not to go for different techniques. You need not to go for different techniques here. Understood? That means For XML, you need not to use XSLT, XPath, or traversing through nodes, these all. For objects, you need not to go for loops. Entities, you need not go for loops. For all, one common solution is this. This is what is the query expression. This is what the query expression is. You call, which is the C# 3.0 feature. This is nothing but the query expression. You might get confused at the time I tell. That is the reason I did not tell. You can use the query expression or a lambda expression. Anything is fine. Anything is fine. Query expression or lambda expression, where CL1 is equal to, that's all. Select C. If I would like to use the lambda expression for same thing, CL2 is equal to, what is that? CL is a list, right? I forgot the syntax. CL dot, CL is the list. CL dot where is extension C goes to C dot country is equal to USA. This is this is the lambda expression. This is the lambda expression. Forget about the link to SQL. Link to SQL is deprecated. You need not use the link to SQL here. Translators, not customer storage. See, these are the ones. Okay, you got the CL here. Let me write something here. Whatever we did it here, let me copy this here. C dot there is no country. First we'll bind the CL1, then we'll bind the CL2. And make sure this is the ASPEC space you want. So that's the start page. Oh, there is no record for CL. I don't know why. call this method. We didn't call the method. Okay. Only contact name is a country for me. Contact name is a country. Only you got the USA. Only you got the USA. Same thing with this you call as a query expression. This you call as a lambda expression. If you want to bind the lambda expression, that is fine. CL2. Same thing. So this is the place where you use the lambda expression, query expression. You can use this or you can use this. And I told you the one I missed the one more concept called the anonymous type. One more concept called the anonymous types. Anonymous types are nothing but, okay, I have the customer, right? I have the customer class. In the customer class, I have just these 5, right? Just these 5. But user asked me, hey, don't send me these all data. Don't send me these all data. You just send me the region and postal code. You just send me the customer ID and country. Don't send me the company name and all. Just send me the customer ID and company name. How are you going to do that? So you're going to create one more class. User wants list of customer with countries. You're going to create one more class? No, that's not good. That too user will ask at runtime. We don't know what he asked at runtime. So you're going to create one more classes. That means you need to have one class. You don't want the type of a class. You don't want to know the name of a class, but you need to create subsets from the original set. You need to have some kind of mechanism here. So you can do select C, select new, select new. You can say whatever you want, like let me put one more grid view, then you can understand this. Customer.aspx. New country is equal to C dot country, comma, customer ID is equal to C dot customer ID. Yes, that's all. It's gonna create one type right now. The compiler gonna create a class, and you don't need to want the class name, right? You just go with the CL1. If you want to retrieve anything, go with CL1. See this? Okay. So let it be CL2, this one. We create a new grid, right? GVB dot data source is equal to CL1. GVB dot data bind. That's all right. Right? You got the both of them. USA ID, USA ID. That is the main purpose you use the anonymous. That is the main purpose you use the anonymous types. Understand? What you need to do right now. What is the assignment for you now? I want you to practice link to objects. I want you to practice on link to objects, but if I don't give any assignment, you don't practice it. Okay, let it be right now. Let it be. Just do that assignment, whatever you need to do, that the image and pixel, image and those all. Yeah, I'm gonna give it tomorrow. Go to the image and do it. Do that piece, okay? And tomorrow I'm gonna closely monitor the progress on your assignment. I'm gonna dump these all concepts onto you. Link. But tomorrow I need to see progress on that. Vishwas, Ranveer, Sajal, and we'll see how it goes. From there we'll take it. Tomorrow I'm gonna start OOPS concepts. Like let me go with entity framework. This is the same flow. Let me go with entity framework. I'm gonna start the entity framework tomorrow. Okay. Okay. It is not the assignments. It is not just picture. Yeah, you need to implement whole assignment, man. Master pages, the items, the look and feel. Okay, then see you tomorrow.